Most people are trying to change their entire life in a single Monday. New diet, new workout, new mindset, new schedule, all of it at once. And by Thursday, they're back to where they started. Here's what nobody tells you. The people who actually transform their lives are not doing more, they're doing less. Deliberately, consistently, every single day. There's a concept behind this that sounds almost too simple to work, but the math behind it is almost terrifying. Stick with me. By the end of this video, you're going to have a routine so clean, so friction-free, that you could start it tomorrow morning and feel different by next week. Not motivation, not hype, an actual system. But first, I need to show you why everything you've been told about self-improvement is built backwards. There's a number that James Clear made famous in Atomic Habits, 1.01 to the power of 365. If you get just 1% better every single day for a year, you end up 37 times better than where you started. 37 times, not 37%. If you get 1% worse every day, 0.99 to the power of 365, you don't lose 37%. You decay down to almost zero. The gap between those two people, starting from the exact same place, doing almost identical things each day, is almost incomprehensible by the end of the year. Here's why that matters for you specifically. You don't need to become a different person overnight. You just need to stop giving your days away without intention. 1% is nothing. It's 15 minutes of reading. It's 5 minutes of movement. It's one hard conversation you stop avoiding. It's closing your phone 20 minutes earlier than usual. That's it. But here's the catch, and this is where most people get it wrong. The problem isn't laziness. I want you to really hear that, because the self-improvement industry has spent years making you believe that the reason you're stuck is because you lack discipline, that you're not trying hard enough. That's not true. The real problem is design. Think about someone who keeps starting over every few weeks. Same cycle every time. They get fired up, build this massive, perfect routine, wake up at 5 a.m., meditate, cold shower, journal, read, work out, review goals, eat clean, no social media, sleep by 10 p.m. And it works. For 4 days, then life happens. One bad night of sleep, one stressful day at work, one moment of weakness, and the whole system collapses because it was never built to survive contact with reality. The issue isn't willpower. It was always architecture. A routine that requires perfect conditions will always fail imperfect humans. What you need isn't a harder routine. You need a smaller one. One that's so undeniable, so easy to start, that even your worst self can still show up for it. This is where the 1% routine begins. I'm going to give you 5 pillars. Each one is small, each one compounds. Pillar 1, the anchor morning. Not a 3-hour morning ritual. Not a perfect sequence. One anchor habit. One thing that when you do it, signals to your brain, today has started with intention. For some people, that's 5 minutes of journaling. For others, it's 10 minutes of walking without their phone. For others, it's sitting quietly with their coffee before looking at a screen. The content almost doesn't matter. What matters is that it's yours. It's done before the noise starts, and you do it every single day, no matter what. Small rituals carry enormous psychological weight. They're how you tell yourself, before the world gets a chance to say otherwise, that you are someone who shows up. Pillar 2. One hard thing before noon. Every day has one task that you keep pushing to the end of the day. You know exactly what it is. You feel the weight of it the moment you wake up. Do that thing first, not because of productivity theory, because of what it does to your self-concept. Every time you finish the thing you were avoiding, you send a small but powerful message to yourself. I am capable. I follow through. Over time, that message doesn't just stay a thought. It becomes your identity. And identity is the deepest level of behavior change. Pillar 3, the input diet. Here's a question almost nobody asks themselves. What am I consuming every day that isn't serving me? Not drugs. Not junk food, content. The average person spends somewhere between 4 and 6 hours consuming content every day. Social media, YouTube, podcasts, news, random videos at 1 a.m. for no reason. The 1% routine asks you to replace just 15 to 20 minutes of that with something that builds you. One chapter of a book, one educational podcast episode, one concept you actually think about afterward. That's it. That's the entire input shift. But compounded over a year, you've essentially given yourself the equivalent of a full college semester's worth of deliberate learning. While most people consumed another year of content they'll forget in 48 hours. Pillar 4, movement that doesn't require motivation. I'm not going to tell you to go to the gym. Here's why. Motivation is unreliable. If your movement practice depends on feeling like it, it will disappear the moment life gets heavy, which is exactly when you need it most. Instead, make movement so small it requires zero motivation. 10 minutes of walking, 20 minutes of something you enjoy, a stretch sequence before bed. Whatever it is, the rule is one thing, non-negotiable minimum. You can always do more, but the minimum must be protected. Because movement doesn't just serve your body, it regulates your nervous system. It clears cortisol. It gives your brain access to the version of itself that can think clearly and make good decisions. The person who walks 10 minutes every single day for a year has something the person who trained hard for 6 weeks and quit doesn't have: momentum. Pillar 5, the nightly reset. 5 minutes before bed. 3 questions, written or just thought through. What went well today? What drained me? What's the one thing I need tomorrow to feel like a good day? That's the whole review. It's not a therapy session. It's a calibration. Most people end their days as passive passengers. Whatever happened, happened. This 5-minute practice forces you to close the loop, notice patterns, and walk into tomorrow with one clear intention instead of waking up and immediately reacting to whatever the world throws at you. Over time, these 5 minutes show you more about yourself than a year of casual self-reflection ever could. 5 minutes won't change your life overnight, but repeated every single day, they quietly change the person making tomorrow's decisions. Because your future isn't built by the occasional breakthrough, it's built by the conversations you have with yourself when no one is watching. So before you end today, spend 5 minutes understanding the person you're becoming. Your future self will thank you for it.